Hey there, good morning. This is Bernade Flurnoy. It's about 6:31. I'm getting ready to hit the button for going live on TikTok. I'm going to show you what we're painting. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I do not have this in the download folder, but there are some other cute things that are there. So go to thepaintedpost.com and grab something cute to paint along. Now, I will be opening up the membership to paint along. And I'm just going to call it the art room, art practice. All right. Want to be profound. And look, I am looking here. I've got to, oh, you can't see. I need to add the other doc cam in here. And I'm going to go get what we're painting out of the computer. Now, you know that I will paint on copy paper. I will paint on anything, but today I made sure to print off the image onto index card. So I am going to go ahead, grab that out of there. I need to change this TikTok. So let me just flash this over here and we are here. Okay. Let me put the music on. I hope that you will grab your things. Go check out what's in our folder. There will be some revamping soon, but right now we're still coming on live to paint with you here on YouTube. So let me put our music on. Go to thepaintedpost.com, grab something cute, and join me as we're painting this morning, okay? For art practice. All right. I have what I'm going to paint out of the printer. I hope that you've grabbed something. I hope it's come out of your printer. Let me get this one off of here. I'm going to have to change it up soon. But that one goes so fast, just to show you some of the cuteness that we've been working on or we will be offering in our shop. So let me introduce myself. I'm on live with TikTok as well. I am going to make sure I have my document cam. Let me make sure I share that. It takes an extra moment on TikTok to send out the notifications, just like on all of the, let me make sure this is dimmed down a little bit before I share that. Yeah, that makes it more realistic. So let me share that. Add to the stage, and I am going to reconfigure and show you. I'm going to remove myself and then I'm going to add our document cam over here. So we're ready to get started. And before I do that, grab your materials. It could be something as inexpensive as a watercolor set from your local Dollar Tree. You can get a little bit more of a, I'm not going to say professional set, but you can. If you want to just dive into the high-end art supplies, you can do that. But, literally for a couple of dollars, I'm going to say less than $20, you can be up and running and painting a lot. All right, so let me move this out of the way and let's get you focused. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see here. Let me remove my. All right, so there we are. We are on the right camera now, and I think the color is pretty good. All right. So, all right. Hello, everyone. We're getting ready to get started, and this is our design that we're going to work on. Let me move out the one that we did the other day. And I keep showing these over and over again because I want you to know that we paint over here. Now, do we talk a little bit? Yes, we do. This is what we just worked on yesterday, and I think this is super cute. I can't remember if that was in the download folder or not. I'm not sure. But this is what we're painting today. I want you to get on my email list because I'm starting my membership next week so that you will have access to some of the designs that we paint live and so many more. Now, we don't want to overwhelm you, so you can start off comfortably with colored pencils and crayons. Keep it simple. And then you can always add more complexity. All right, so I've got my little, I don't want to tilt it too far, but I got my little mug over here. We're ready. All right, I hope you got everything. We're about to get started. All right. And Bob is here. Okay, Bob is here, just so everybody knows. Bob is right here. I don't know why it's so washed out on that one camera. Oh. Let me see if I turn off one light. Let me see if that will help. And not really, but we're going to keep on moving. All right, so we're getting our paintings and everything out of the way so that we can get started over here. All right, so we do a lot of cute things over here. Now this one definitely is inside of the download folder. I know that for sure, so you can go and join and grab that. All right, so let me move this out of the way and we're going to get started. Now your teacup can be any color that you'd like. Okay, and I'm trying to figure out what color scheme do I want. I'm trying to make sure that okay, just trying to make sure everything is in view over here. All right, so we have our brushes and everything right here. Let's see, how can we get rid of this shadow going across here? Let me see if I can make a quick little adjustment. That's a little bit better. All right, so that view is now ready. And, you know, we've got our praying. Let's see. We've got our praying. And we've got, I can't remember which brand this was. It was inexpensive on the Amazon, and we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, now TikTok, let me just say this. I don't know about the TikTok robots or whatever. I am not eligible to be on the TikTok shop because I don't have enough followers right now. So I do need to send people wherever they need to go to get their supplies. So TikTok, please don't ban me. And if you know of a different way to get a TikTok shop, let me know. Okay, let me know how I can get a TikTok shop so I don't get into trouble, because they gave me like a little flag last week. So I don't know, because I mentioned something other than the TikTok shop. Let me make sure this is over here and we're ready. Oh, the camera's in the way. So I've got two cameras right here. All right, so I think we're good. What's in your cup? What's in your cup this morning? What's in your cup? I'm finishing up a little bit of lukewarm coffee. Now, I am looking at the design and deciding the best plan of attack. I am going to go ahead and change. Oh my goodness. Let me move this coffee cup because I was about to dip in there. Oh my goodness. And that happens at paint parties more often than we care to admit. All right, so you can't see right here, but I'm going to just kind of come on here. I'm just going to go ahead and get me a little coffee. color. All right. Give me a little coffee color, and I'm just going to come on in here. Now, if you don't want that little line in there, you have to kind of wet that paper a little bit first so the paper's not so thirsty and it won't soak in the paint. It will let the paint glide across a little easier, okay? Now that's with official watercolor paper and my cardstock. All right, so we're just coming right on over here, adding a little bit, make it just a little bit darker right along the edge. Need a little bit more water to move the paint. All right, so I don't know what color you want your coffee cup to be, but we're just going to go ahead, choose something, and keep it moving real fast. So let's see. Try to see if I could. Now, see, I don't want to start messing up my. I'm just going to leave that alone. I was going to add the other camera. And on TikTok, all I can do is use my phone for right now. And I'm trying to see. I'm trying not to knock things over. Okay. I think I want a pale blue. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and clean this part out right here. So that would be my mixing surface. Let me get a little bit of paper towel right here. All right. And I'm just going to dip in the water just a little bit. I'm going to clean the surface out. All right. Clean that surface out. So now I can mix whatever I want to mix over there. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of water up in. Oh, let's clean the brush out. I'm going to add a little water up in there, and then now, because I want a lot of that color. You know what? Let me stop playing. Let me go ahead and put a little bit more up in there. I want a lot of that pale blue color because I am going to actually do a lot in the background with it. So it'll be blue on blue on blue. All right. So we are mixing this up. So I have a lot of that color. Now let's test that color out and see if that's what we really want. And I do that on the back of an index card. Just something simple. That's a pale blue. And that's what we want in the background. So we're going to go ahead, as opposed to starting on our main image first, we're going to go ahead and knock that background out. And I'm going to go for a larger brush. Okay, so now I know I'm not going to use like this pink. So I'm going to get rid of this one over here. All right, so I'm adding some water here. And I'm still going to just wet. Let me stand up so I can see. I am still going to just wet the background really, really fast. All right, just so that it can move around. All right, and I'm trying to just stay right along the silhouette of the cup. All right. So you'll see that because I'm giving the paper a little bit of a drink of water first, we can kind of blend. I didn't do a lot down here. I'm just adding that water and I'm just spreading it out real fast. And I have to be really careful because, like I said, this is index card paper. So we're coming on in here and then we can move that around really, really fast just to change up that plain white. And we want to go right along this surface here. And I'm blending that out really, really quickly. So yes, I'm standing up and really getting into it. And I may decide that I might want to make this darker, but sometimes in the moment, you know, you plan one thing, but then when you start creating, and for whatever reason, something inside of your imagination says, hey, we're going in a different direction. All right, so this here, and I'm going to show you that we have pretty much used up all of the moisture, the water, what did I say, moisture? the Kool-Aid, blueberry Kool-Aid that we have mixed up. So now we may need to add a little bit more down here. All right, so we're just going right here. We're mixing it right on the spot. But if I had done that prior to starting, I don't know. All right, so we eliminate that white space. Okay, so now that lets us decide a little bit more on what we want to do on this cup. Now we may decide that we want to leave the cup white, but you see I'm just kind of going along here with the shadow kind of already started. We're fading that part out. Let me get my brush with the tip on it and let me come around in these areas right here. That may be a little bit darker than what we intended, but there we go. There we go. Just a little bit more right here in this corner, then I'm going to leave this alone. All right. So now we've gotten rid of all of the plain white. And what do we want to do with our coffee cup? We can leave it like this with maybe just a little bit of shading. I'm blending this out over here. Grab a little bit of water. Okay. All right, I just felt it just needed a little something more over there. Let's grab a little bit of water. And you got to move quick. Otherwise, you're going to end up maybe with a brush stroke or two. But, you know, that's the nature of watercolor. All right, so I'm okay with the decisions that we have made. I throw a little water down and I go get a little paint. And I'm just making it go to the edge. All right, that's all I'm doing over here. So we're going to purposefully give us an edge right here. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. So I just take my brush and just go right up in there. I'm just going to blend that out. All right. So that kind of, let me put right on over here. And I know on TikTok a little bit, it's a little bit off the camera here. Right now, this is the best setup I can give you. All right. So now that part is done. We've got a surface. We've got our oh my goodness, thank you for the hearts and things. Who knew, child? Listen. So now what I'm going to do inside of here, I'm just going to add just a little bit of, y'all, I'm trying not to knock this stuff over. I'm going to add just a tad bit of black over up in here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of black to gray this out. And before I use any of that, whatever I have in my brush with this water is what we have. Okay, so this is what we're doing right here. We are taking this white cup, it's still white, and we're just blending this out. All right, taking that white cup. All right, whoop, we went too dark there. And my brush is really kind of too big for this area over here, but sometimes that helps you not dilly-dally. Is that still a word? I think so. I think it's still a word. So I'm going to go with some of my extra right here and just go down in this area to get rid of the white. Okay, so now I'm going to go back up over here, and I'm still trying to decide how dark do I want this blue on the cup. We're just going to go down here and get some more right here for real. And we're going right on down here. in this shadow area. Let's get a little bit more. That'll kind of pop that color in there a little bit. Smooth that out a little bit. Okay, so now that kind of makes it look a little more realistic that it's actually sitting somewhere. I'm going to take some of this and come right on in this handle. Now, let me just go ahead and pre-warn you that if you hear anything falling in here, it's not intentional. It just will be, like a byproduct of this precarious situation. My water's right here. I've got one camera here, and I've got another one right here. So I've got two lined up over here. But I changed it from the warm tone to this cool tone. Why? Why not? Because I could. So I'm going in here now with this layer of blue. I didn't add any water first, so I may end up with a marker too, and I'm okay with that. And then this one is a simple, fast, easy one. You see how quickly that one pulled together? So for a paint party event, you don't have a lot of time, this one would be nice to do. It could be this full size, or you could reduce the size, as I do sometimes. So these are a little bit smaller, okay? Well, that's my alarm telling me it's time to wrap up, all right? Let me dismiss that. Hello. All right, so now I would play around with a little bit of maybe purple in here, and I think I'm gonna do that just to wake up the color a little bit. I'm just gonna grab a little bit of purple, and I'm just gonna come on over here in the shadow. And I may grab maybe a little green over in this other corner right here, just to play around with the colors a little bit. It may not be there, but it makes it visually interesting. So let's go ahead and take this on down here. And we're just adding those last little subtle. And what I'm going to do is let this front part be the one that's popping out a little bit more. So we're going to gray down and go in here. This is some green that I didn't use. I'm going to go here and gray that down back there. You grab a little bit more of this. Okay, just knock that down back there. So it's not so bright white, because we want this front part to pop. So it's still light, but it doesn't have to be, just the bare paper. All right. And those are some of the subtleties that you may not see in a painting, but you don't know why that painting works, but it works because of those subtle details. So this is, nice and bright up here. I need to go in here a little bit more. I'm going to get rid of any white over there. And I'm just going to come on in here very quickly. All right, in this little shadow area there. All right, so I'm also going to go back up over here. That may be a lot. Let me go in here and get a little water and come back up over here just to knock this down just a little bit more. Okay, so it's kind of light blue, but right here, just getting any of that excess paint right here to just start to turn. I don't want to get too much black, but we're going to go right over here in this area just to turn that cup just a little bit. Okay. Hopefully you can see that little bit of addition there kind of adds a little bit of 3D to it. So I think we said what we needed to say here. Okay, we've said what we needed to say, and so we're gonna go ahead and give you a little time back today. All right, so TikTok, I'm gonna pop you off of here just so you could see what the reference image was, and let you know that I am for real in my studio, and I am live over here And so I am also about to pop out the, there we go. Here we go. This is what we just painted here. It's kind of cute. We just did it with some cool tones. Now you can go in there and play around with the colors as much as you'd like. All right. So here we go, TikTok. Now let me see if I can flip this without doing a whole bunch of ruination. All right. So there we go. All right, here we go. Let me set you right here as I get ready to close out the screen, the live. It is 6:57, so I can, let me clip this back up. All right, so this is still very, very wet. All right, so here we are. There we are. Oh, so much fun, easy. I might knock this white down a little bit because I don't think I put anything over here. So we might go back in off camera. All right. So peace to you. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you for joining me for our art practice today. And the group eventually on school will be called the Art Room. Okay. And then that'll be $15 a month. And then a lot of the goodness that we paint live will be in that group. We don't want to overwhelm you, okay? So basically, you'll get 2 really nice paintings, and all the tips and things that I add here will be in there, but the designs will be in there. Okay, there will be a couple of bonuses up in there, but you will paint at your own pace, all right? So thanks for joining. I'm going to sign off on, let's see, which one am I doing first? TikTok. Let me see how I'm going to sign you off. Hold on, TikTok. Let me sign off. Oh, somebody made a comment. Hello. Thank you. All right. Peace and blessings to you. I'm sorry I missed that. Okay. So let me get off of here. Let me sign off because I want to be finished by 7. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and give my close. This is Bernaid Flanoy, art teacher by day. I love painting portraits. I love teaching beginner painters or people that want to paint how to paint. So the next time you go to a paint party, you know what you're doing up in there. You get up in there with some confidence, okay? And then really enjoy your time, all right? So that's what this is about, okay? Is that low-key sneaky? I want you to be confident. So when you get there, you will enjoy the time. Some people are genuinely stressed. Some people are like, hey, whatever, hey, we're just gonna have a good time and moving that little chicken wing around. But some people are for real stressed out. Okay, so it's not always a good time for everybody, but I want to help you, not just for those things, but just because the women over 40, you've always wanted to paint and you're always taking care of somebody else. So now do something that you want to do. Share your art joy. I'm sharing mine. Thank you for joining me in my studio. Okay.